You student, come closer.
You cannot see.
You think I cannot see?
Of all things, to live in darkness must be the worst.
Fear is the only darkness. Take your broom and strike me with it. Do as I tell you. Strike. Again. Here, catch. Never assume that because a man has no eyes, he cannot see. Close your eyes. What do you hear?
I hear the water. I hear the birds.
Do you hear your own heartbeat?
No.
Do you hear the grasshopper, which is at your feet?
Old man, how is it that you hear these things?
Young man, how is it that you do not?
Okay. Oh. I sing this song some time ago. We'll call it confusion. Really burn my house. I'm feeling like a man. Ra-da-da-da-oo, la-oo, 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 la-ka-ka. Ra-ka-ka, la-oo, la-oo, la-oo. They say America's dead, as far as I see it. Go down, country, Ra-ka-ka, la-oo, la-oo, la-oo. Things in Nigeria, or should I say America? I should say America. America, sing my song. Ha 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 ha. Becky lau, lau, lau. Whoa! Whoa! Hold on. Oh my God. When I say confusion, everything's out of the control. When everything's out of the control, we say, make cacao. Oh, hey, hold on. Y'all can't be, it's late night. Y'all can't be sneaking up on a brother. Let me go and pause the music. Oh, man, I'm listening to Fela and some other shit. But, oh my God, y'all come creeping up. All right, so I'm going through my old movie reel, and we got a lesson for Kung Fu that we got to talk about on this day. 11/24/20-4 and 3/4. Join us on this adventure. Stop sneaking up on me. Oh, time is short. But anyway, family, you just seen that. This is one of my favorite movies. And we're going through old movies. Because y'all know we do old movies here on Gye-Nyame Journey. We do other things and then blah, 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 blah. Well, anyway, this is from a movie called Kung Fu, right? And the young man is accepted into the temple. Y'all seen the other video that I did where, if you didn't, you need to go back and check out some of our other videos so that you can catch up, right? Because I do old movies and I'm cutting them in and I'm cutting them out. We got a little bit of time, so we're going to do what we could do. And the young man approaches this elder, right? See, because the respect for the elder is primary in our culture. He approaches this elder and he notices that the elder is blind. And he says, of all things, to live in darkness must be the worst. And that is a true ass statement. I don't know if any of you have ever been in total darkness, but that shit is scary. You know what I'm saying? Because your imagination, your physical eyes can't see, and in total darkness, it is scary. Right? You know, I developed a reputation at Simba as someone who never used flashlights when I went out into the woods. You know, and a lot of people started taking it in different ways. Brother Hatim could see in the dark. No matter where we at, he could see what we doing. Be careful. Brother Hatim can sneak up on us. Brother Hatim can sit in the sweat lodge for a long time. And it was just an illusion, right? Because I had always had fear of the dark. Fear of the dark. So what I decided when I took the mantle of being a Simba nation builder, when I took the mantle of a nation builder, the idea of a nation builder, I had to do what I wanted the young people to do. And darkness was a fear. So I had to learn how to face that fear. So I said, fuck a flashlight. You know what I'm saying? In my late 20s, my early 30s, fuck a flashlight. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go out here in this dark, and I'm going to do what I do. I'm scared as fuck, but I'm going to do it. I got to lead these young men, and I have to set an example for them. Darkness is crazy, right? But I learned to deal with it, and I learned to build who I became because I learned how to deal with darkness, right? I learned how to deal with that stuff. Till the later years, that's a whole nother story. Yeah, I start dealing with other stuff. Start dealing with my mortality, but that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother video that we're gonna do. But anyway, I built this reputation, and I had the opportunity of stumbling across this piece again. And the young man says to the elder, to live in darkness must be the worst thing. To live in darkness. But the old man said, so you believe I cannot see? And he defines darkness for the young man. And he described the only darkness. He said the only darkness is fear. Now I want you to think about that. The only darkness is fear. Now we had another video where we talked about where Customato was talking about fear and how fear is our friend, how fear helps us. It protects us. It's a natural instinct that rises up out of us. And it's not to necessarily stop us, but it's there to make us more aware. When you are fearful, your senses click in. You can hear more. You can see farther. You can feel things before they even touch you. You can, like, for example, some of you that have been in messed up situations, if you think back about it, very fearful situations, you can not only see farther, hear more, you can feel when somebody is looking at you, right? And the old man breaks down, he says, the only darkness is fear. Many of you right now are stuck in your life because of fear. You're stuck in darkness, right? And you're not using the exponential power that fear gives you. You're allowing yourself to be froze by the fear rather than being motivated to move up out of it. I'm challenging you, family. I'm challenging you like this old man challenged the young boy, right? Fear is your only darkness. What are you fearful of? And face it. In simple, what I want to demonstrate, what I wanted to demonstrate for my young man, and in Gye-Nyame, what I want to demonstrate for my young men and the young ladies coming up behind me is that I can't see in the dark. And I tell them that. I'm terrified of the dark, but I can't allow that terror to stop me from making sure that you are safe, to stop me to making sure that you eat, to stop me from making sure that I'm able to provide for my tribe. Fear is the only darkness, and you have to learn to overcome it. But let's go even deeper into the video. The old man challenges this young boy to hit him with the stick. And every time the young man tries to hit him with the stick, even though he can't see physically, because many of us are counting on these physical eyes, what this old man was teaching this young man about was insight. Now, there's insight and there's excite. There's insight and there's excite. Right? Insight is what goes on inside of us. What are the insights that you can get from the fear that is coming, from the feeling and the emotional energy that is flowing into you from these experiences? The insight. This old man was not trapped into the darkness of fear. So he was demonstrating to this young man that what you think is possible is only the floor. It's not the ceiling. I don't have physical eyes, but I have insight. Now let me tell you where this applies as far as the Gye-Nyame life. In Gye-Nyame, we have our own Master Po because that old man's name is Master Po. Master Po was the dopest part of Kung Fu, and it was the major reason that I watched it, because Master Po dropped insights on this young man throughout his whole life. And we have a real life Master Po in Gye-Nyame journey. We have a brother who has been whose sight has left, but he's a mathematician and he's able to do math and still instruct people on math. And you would think that you could only do math on paper and you need paper. And this man is able to sit in calmness and do incredible things with his insight. And he's able to instruct our young people about mathematics. Something that you think you need to be able to look on a big board, and he's able to use his mind and use his insight to instruct these young people on how to use and how to do math without being able to see the math problem or the student. And he's able to do for them what Master Po actually did for this young man in this movie. So for me, this is a real thing, right? That's this whole idea of insight. Family, fear is the only darkness. And fear can stop you, but it's not designed to stop you. It's designed to heighten your instincts. It's designed to heighten your insight. It's designed to make you aware of what's going on, make you more aware and bring you more in contact with the world. But many of us get this sense of fear and we stop. Many of you got that sense of fear and you stopped. Many of you want to pursue your life adventure, but you're fearful and you need a guide. You need some help. You need some insight. I'm just saying, family, don't allow your fear to stop you. Explore. Use your heightened sense to go and find out what you need so that you can create insight rather than relying on your excite. See, because excite only lasts for a second. And when I say excite, I'm not talking about the just like cause insight, INSIGHT, and then excite. I'm talking about the excite that we talk about, because excite only lasts for a second. You get excited about something and then all of a sudden it burns out. But insight burns for a very long time. So you need to take from the seeing outside of yourself to being able to monitor and to control the insight, because the insight burns for a very long time. And many of us are missing it. Many of us are robbing ourselves of our opportunities, and we're getting stuck, right? We get stuck because the fear is the darkness. And the most incredible part, and I always quote this because I love this movie, because this movie teaches so much. The old man, after he gives this young man the lesson, he says, never assume that just because a man does not have eyes that he cannot see. Never assume. Never assume. Right? Boom. Explore. Plug into your insight so that you can explore all this. And when you're feeling fear, allow those heightened senses to help guide you so that you can find your guide. This old man became this young man's guide and took him through life. And he calmed the boy down, and he got the boy and he plugged him into his own insight. He had this young man plug into his own insight. He said, calm down. Close your eyes. Tell me, what do you hear? And the young man described what he hears. Using his senses, his heightened senses, he's been excited because he tried to hit this blind dude and he couldn't hit this blind dude. And as far as his ego and all, he probably was fearful, like, damn, this old man has superpower. And this old man was trying to get him to understand that it's not a superpower. It's a power that we all have. And he had him close his eyes. Like I'm asking you to do. Close your eyes. What do you hear around you? The young man said, well, I hear the water. I hear the birds. The old man asked him, now, this is the deepest question for me. He said, do you hear your own heartbeat? Now, people trip out on the last question, but let's just go to the heartbeat. He said, do you hear your own heartbeat? And the young man said, no. What this old man was asking this young man, are you aware, or are you able to get in touch with you? Before you can master the world, you have to be able to master yourself. And to be able to master yourself, you have to be aware of what's happening within you. The last question is what get everybody else. It gets me a little bit too, but that first question, do you hear your own heartbeat? Family, I'm asking you, do you hear your own heartbeat? But the last question he asked him, he said, do you hear the grasshopper by your feet? And the young man looked down and he saw a grasshopper there. The young man couldn't hear the grasshopper, or wasn't aware of the grasshopper at his feet, because he wasn't plugged into who he was. He was so plugged into being who he had been taught who he was his whole life. He was plugged into the external shit that was telling him who he was, that he could not get in touch with himself. And by not being able to get in touch with himself, he was not able to know what was going on in the environment around him. And many of us are caught in that same trap. And here, Gye-Nyame Journey family, all I'm trying to do is to help you get uncaught. Get uncaught. Free yourself. It's not hard. Free yourself by getting to know who you are, right? Every hero, in every story that I'm going to show you, every tale that I'm going to tell you, and everything I'm going to tell you, every hero has a guide. And what we try to do here at Gye-Nyame Journey is to be a guide for those heroes so that you could go out on your adventure. Because when you become better, we become better. This is why we always talking about TAOBh. Because all of us have insight. Just like we got our own Master Poe here at Gye-Nyame Journey, you can have a Master Poe no matter where you are. Because Gye-Nyame Journey is here to help you move to the next level. Because if you are part of our tribe, if you are part of our extended family, if you are part of our extended community family, that means that we got access to you. And you got access to us. And we can make each other better. And that is the goal. That is why I love this movie. That is why I want to share what I want to share with you. Because I need you to be your best. I tell all my children, I tell all of my little brothers and all my little sisters, I say I need you to be the best that you can be. Because one day I'm going to come to you and I'm going to need to borrow some resources. Are you going to be ready when I come? Or are you still going to be caught up on the next excitement rather than dealing with the insight of who you really are? And this is what we try to bring you to in Gye-Nyame Journey, getting you in touch with who you really are. You can check us out, freegnjecourse.com, freegnjecourse.com. Also, join us at gnj.media because our goal is to grow big, but we don't want to grow big on other people's platform. We want to grow big on a platform that we, me, and you control, not that others control outside of our tribe. So check us out, gnj.media. Also, because Cleve is cutting us up, you know what I'm saying? Every purchase you make off of our site, this young man of 15 years old that is cutting up my videos is going to get a cut, and you can help him go and move on and become something great. He might be able to cut some of your videos up. Might be able to give you some inspiration, right? Got me up in the house being Joe Jackson. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, you messing with my computer, you better be able to do something. Show me what you can do. You know what I'm saying? That shit actually worked. I'm sitting up here like, wow, Joe Jackson was onto some shit. Serena and Venus Williams' father was onto some shit. Yeah. Just saying. But yo, this is Brother Tim. I'm out. Y'all have a great night. Is it morning? Is it not? I don't know. You know, I got some free time, so I'm going to use it. Watch the next video. Watch the next video. Watch the next video. No, I'm just joking, family. Family, thank you for joining us. Be sure to catch us on the next video, family. Peace. Watch the next video. Watch.